Hello and welcome to Virtual Gridiron Sports. I'm Rick Horn, and joining me is my beautiful wife, Bethany Horn. And today we're here for the very first, no pun intended, Fantasy Football League Draft Powerball Lottery. All right, so a couple things we're going to go over this year, on this video, is just a summary of rules and notes that we kind of agreed on as a league. Starting out, so for the draft itself this year, the date has actually been changed to September 1st. The reason for this is being I actually misread the preseason schedule for the NFL, and so that's why we moved it to September 1st. That is the Sunday following the last preseason game. Now, it's actually kind of crazy. We actually doubled the league in size this year.
Yeah.
We went from 6 teams last year to 12 teams this year. What do you think about that?
I think it'll be interesting as far as rosters go, because with 6 teams, everyone had really stacked rosters. So it'll be interesting to see how people play without that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot more competitive, especially we have several former multiple-time fantasy football league champions. Now, for those who aren't aware, this is a points per reception scoring format. PPR means 1 catch, 1 point. This year, kickers will be penalized 1 point for every missed field goal and every missed extra point attempt. So there's that. That was something we didn't do last year that will happen this year. Now, we're also going to be talking about a trade veto, the trade veto. So in fantasy football, sometimes you see teams that are tanking, right? Teams that are just absolutely doing trash, but they have 1, 2, maybe 3 really good players. And so when they're tanking, they're not doing so well. You'll see those teams trade their good players away because they don't care about the season anymore. That's the whole point of the trade veto. Now, for this year, it's going to carry over from next year, but I know we have some new members. So the rule is that we have is if more than half of the league votes that the trade should be vetoed, as in no good, that trade doesn't happen. A minimum of 7 votes are required. The league is 12 teams, so 7 votes, that's going to get the trade completely vetoed. Now, for games that end in a tie this year, during the regular season, that game will stay a tie. All right. And in the playoffs, if it ends up being a tie game, your benched players will decide how many fantasy points your benched players got will be the deciding factor in who gets the victory that week. Now, it's actually pretty cool, too. We actually finally decided on the trophy for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat. If you haven't seen it, go to the Facebook page. I'll post the link on my page for those of you who are not part of the league. It's a pretty neat, it's pretty large black and silver trophy. It has the silver columns and everything. It has the good Vince Lombardi quote, winning isn't everything. It's the only thing, from Vince Lombardi. So that should be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We had everybody chip in this year. This is our official, no pun intended, fantasy football league envelope. So just so everybody knows, once again, all of the buy-in fees are here. We have 12 teams, so a total of $240. There's 50, 100, 50, 200, 220, 240. So all of those are going to be kept safely right here in this envelope, and it'll be kept here until the end of the season, at which point I'll use to purchase the trophy, ship it to the champion, and it'll be awesome. And with that, one last thing of note, the trade deadline for this year is going to be December 25th, Christmas. As with everything, same with the draft date. It's subject to change just based on, what's going on at the time, what's happening. Everything is subject to change. So for right now, Christmas Day is going to be the trade deadline. It's the latest that I could get. So that's where we're at right now. And one last final note before we start getting into the Powerball. So last year, one thing that we had happen, if the team manager is super busy, right? And they're not able to adjust their roster size. Actually, Adam Siflinger last year, he was getting his wedding ready and everything. And so he didn't have time to adjust his roster and all of that. And so we actually have a thing this year where myself and Nicholas Blase has been named the VP, the Vice President of Fantasy Football Operations. He's been given league manager powers. And so either one of us, if you need us to adjust your roster, just let either myself or Nick know, and we'll go in and adjust the roster based on your preferences. That way, if you're busy, no big deal. It takes away you getting any unnecessary losses. My gosh, I can't talk today. All right, and with that, let's jump right into the Powerball. Now, just a few ground rules here. So we have here the official no pun intended, Fantasy Football League Power Bucket. And so we have all of the team names in here. And there's our vice president right now. He says if he wins the league, he's going to be president. I will take that bet. If you win the league this year, Nick, I will give you the title of league commissioner, league manager, everything. Yes, it's going to be a hostile takeover. So right now, team owner, Nicholas Blase of the Bellingham Bim Blases, the classiest toes in all of fantasy football. If you win the league this year, you're no longer the vice president, you're the president, and I'll be your right-hand man. So getting back into this, yes. So we have our official, no pun intended, official power bucket. We have all of the team names in here. They're going to be randomly drawn from this bucket. And then we have the official, no pun intended, Fantasy Football League Powerball. All right. So what's going to happen? A team name is going to be drawn. And after which point, we're going to spin the wheel here. And whatever draft position you happen to land at, that's where it's going to be. And we will mark it on our official, no pun intended, fantasy football board of draft picks. Yeah, it is a trash can. But for today, it's our power bucket. All right.
Would say that.
Right. Somebody would say that. She was right. It ended up happening. And so there it is. So any thoughts before we get into this?
No, I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and mix up our bucket here. Drum roll. All right. And I will let you do the honors of picking the very first team name out of the power bucket.
Okay. Let's see. The first name I have is the
Bellingham Bim Blases. Nicholas Blase of the Bellingham Bim Blases. We're going to figure out your draft pick first. That doesn't mean that you're first overall. No. All right. So I'll do the honors. I'm going to do some spinning of the wheel. All right. Nicholas Blase, you are going to be drafting right in the middle of the pack. Number 6 this year. Congratulations. All right. So we found out our number 6 position. And Nicholas Blase, it's actually pretty interesting. He was our league's Western Division champion last year. The Bellingham Bim Blases are by far the classiest hoes in fantasy football. Now, team owner Nicholas Blase, he's actually a 7-year veteran of fantasy football. He's the defending Western Division champ and the vice president of fantasy football operations here in the no pun intended Fantasy Football League, right? Now, what's crazy, 7 years of fantasy football experience, not a single league championship to show for. And therefore, yeah, I'm happy to take that bet. And Nick, don't act like I explained these rules well beforehand, well before the video even started. So we're going to give Nick a call, see what he thinks about his draft pick. I know he thinks it's rigged. These are rules that we went over weeks, months ahead of time. All right. So that's right. He's garbage. He's not taking over the league commissioner spot. All right. So we're going to get him on the phone and see what he thinks. Ooh, it's ringing.
Pun intended, Vice President, how may I help you?
No pun intended. Vice President of Fantasy Football Operations, team owner Nicholas Blase of the Bellingham Bim Blases, the classiest hose in all of fantasy football. So you've just been selected to pick at the number 6 position, number 6 overall in the no pun intended fantasy football draft here in 2019. What are your thoughts?
You're breaking up, Rick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been picked number 6 overall in the draft this year. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so my first thought is my name was picked first, so I think I should get the first pick. But besides the point, I think it's good. Number 6 is good. I think I'll do okay.
Yeah. He's going to be looking to spread his legs wide open to a no pun intended fantasy football league championship. Now, the Bim Blases were actually involved in a little bit of controversy lately. Can you shed any light on that?
No comment at the time.
No comment at this time. All right. The investigation is still underway. Awesome. Well, thank you, Nick. Good luck on this year's draft. And we will see you on the virtual gridiron.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
How's it going, Bethany?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right, so that was Nick Blase, our defending Western Division champion. And again, we discussed the rules of this Powerball well ahead of time. I told everybody about how it was going to be a name out of a bucket and that we were going to use this official Powerball machine. So with that, do you have any thoughts on Nicholas Blase? I know you guys went back and forth last year as the league's top scoring squad. So do you have any thoughts on him this year and what type of competition he may bring in a 12-team league?
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
I guess we'll have to find out. All right. Well, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to pull a name out of the bucket here.
Okay.
The official power bucket.
Trash can.
The trash can. Yeah, that's right. All right. So our next team owner to be selected for a draft pick in the 2019 draft is going to be myself,
Ooh.
the Flying Spaghetti Monsters. So a little bit about myself. Again, I am the league commissioner of the No Pun Intended Fantasy Football League, team owner of the Flying Spaghetti Monsters, the holiest team in all of fantasy football. This is actually my, I want to say, third or fourth year going into fantasy football. I'm a 3-time fantasy football league champion, defending champion of the Eastern Division, and it's going to be awesome. I have multiple single game scoring records, highest overall season scoring record. Not to brag or anything like that. No, it was. I guess it was just a coincidence, but it was not on purpose. All right. So Bethany, if you want to do me the honors, tell me where I'm going to be drafting.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
All right. You will be drafting number 12.
Dead last. Wow. It would happen that way. That's all right. You know what? That's okay, because that means I'm going to be drafting at the turn. I'm going to be drafting there. So I'm going to get 2 picks in a row. Do we have the other ball out already? I guess we'll find out. The other ball.
Which other ball?
The one that we selected for Nick. That's okay. If it ends up being number 4, then we'll just re-roll the dice
We
again.
didn't put it back in there, did we?
I don't think so. But if we did, no big deal. Anyway, so yeah, so it's going to be pretty awesome. So far we have 2 team owners picked. We have myself at the number 12 position, and 6 spots ahead of me is Nicholas Blase of the Bellingham Bim Blases, classiest hose in all of fantasy football. Going to be spreading their legs wide open this year. All right. He said, that's right. His balls are better than mine. Well, I don't know. No comment on that. So, yeah. So it should be a pretty exciting year and everything. I'm pretty stoked about it. As you can see, I have my new studio here. Got an awesome backdrop. I'm going to be dropping a lot more broad view of sports coverage here in the coming future. A lot more fantasy sports, not just for this league, but players I like on a week-by-week basis. If you like it, check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Like this video. It should get a lot more fun as we continue here tonight. And so with that, let's go on to our next team.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Oh,
Grab the bucket of doom here.
you need to pick.
The official power bucket of No Pun Intended Fantasy Football League. All right.
Okay. So next up, we have the ATLians.
Adam Siflinger,
Adam.
team owner of the ATLians. That is awesome. I liked Adam. Adam last year did really well. He was in the Western Division, and he was actually just narrowly edged out as the number 4 seed in the playoffs. This is actually his 2nd year as a fantasy footballer. So as a fantasy football rookie, he almost made it into the playoffs as the number 4 seed. That's very, very impressive. And he's actually our league's defending top single game scoring record squad, in which was actually won over the Bellingham Bim Blases. So that's awesome. And he has gone full Guido this year to ensure maximum success. So let's give him a call. Let's find out what he's up to, what he thinks of his draft pick. Oh, yes. First, got to find out where he's drafted. All right. So the Sifmeister this year will be drafting just ahead of the Bellingham Bim Blases at number 5. So that's pretty awesome. So far we've got our number 5 pick, our number 6 pick, and our number 12 pick. So let's see if we can give old Sifmeister a call, and we'll see what he thinks about being able to draft at number 5.
The program started. How can I help you?
Adam Siflinger, team owner of the ATLians. First of all, you may want to turn your TV down just a little bit. It's getting a little bit of reverb here into the mic. But yeah, so you've been picked at the number 5 overall draft position in the 2019 draft. What are your thoughts?
Well, Rick, I'm in the middle of the pack here, so I'm expecting maximum success.
Maximum success. Now, last year was actually your rookie year as a fantasy footballer, and you almost made it into the playoffs as the number 4 seed prior to being absolutely demolished by your division rival, Wide as Y, for the 3rd consecutive time of the season. What are your thoughts this year? Are you going to get skunked again?
No, I don't think so this year. I'm going to just expand upon my rookie season, and I'm going to move forth.
He's going to move forth, probe everybody in their butts to make sure he takes home the coveted, no pun intended, Fantasy Football League trophy. All right. Well, thanks for taking the call.
Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And so just kind of a recap of where we're at right now. You want to pull out the draft board, our official draft board. So that was Adam Siflinger, team owner of the ATLians. We've got him drafting at number 5, the Bellingham Bimblases at number 6, and myself, a.k.a. the Flying Spaghetti Monsters, at number 12. So let's go ahead and kick it up. Let's start with our next team owner. You want to mix it up, and I'll pull it out this time. Not literally speaking. Don't get excited, Nick. I know the Bimblases, they're all sorts of excited about pulling out, along with the constipated leather daddies. So our next pick to draft for is Jason Knoll of the IT Crew. So this is actually a really interesting story. Jason Knoll, a former baseball player from the great state of Texas, he's actually ending his his fantasy football, not just no pun intended. This is actually his league debut. But he's actually coming out of his fantasy football retirement. He last played in fantasy football back in 2014. He's the self-proclaimed half-smart bank breaker, and he's a lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan. I obviously don't care for that too much, but he's a good guy. We'll see if he's smart enough to pull it out this year. I'm going to try to give him a call. I know he's handling some official IT business and everything. But first, let's find out where he's drafting. All right. So Jason Knoll, you will be drafting behind the Bellingham Bimblases at number 7. So that's where Jason Knoll, he's going to be drafting this year at number 7. So the Bellingham Bimblases have officially been sandwiched. They might be getting the minivan, 2 up front, 5 in the back this year here in fantasy football. And with that, we're going to go ahead and give Jason Knoll a call and see what he thinks about his draft pick.
Hello?
Hey, Pedo.
Hey, fix it?
Fix it. Jason Knoll, team owner of the IT Crew. You have been selected number 7 in the 2019, no pun intended, Fantasy Football League draft. What are your thoughts?
That's freaking awesome, I'm going to demolish the competition with all my data.
He's got all of the right data. Now, this is crazy. So this has actually been a 5-year layoff in fantasy football for you. What made you decide to want to come back?
I was a champ in 2014, and I'll be a champ in 2019 to 2020.
Oh, strong words. All right. Well, thank you for your time and everything. We're looking forward to seeing your league debut.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Now, I'm curious. That was Jason Knoll. I'm seeing in the comment section, Jason Korzak. Who is that? Is that Jason LaRoche in disguise? I'm not 100% certain, but who are you? Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Jason Knoll, how crazy. 5 years of fantasy football being laid off.
Yeah.
And now here he is back again. Defending champ back in 2014. You think he can pull it off in 2019?
I don't know. We'll find out.
It could be. It most definitely is. I'm not that stupid. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and mix it up here for you. 4 picks out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
We're a third of the way through the Powerball.
You need to pick.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next up is Why Does Why?
The man himself, Jason LaRoche, team owner of Why Does Why. Now, he's actually also, if you haven't figured it out, a lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan. Hence his team name, Why Does Why. He was super butthurt when Des Bryant left the Cowboys. He was trash, got hurt 2 days into his contract with the New Orleans Saints. But as a fantasy footballer, Jason LaRoche is actually pretty interesting. He, as a fantasy footballer, let me pull up his profile. He's actually a 2-time NFL.com league champion, right? He is actually only one of 2 teams last year to sweep a division rival. That, of course, was the aforementioned Adam Siflinger, team owner of the ATLians. And he was actually ranked number 3 in the league last year through the first half of the season, then just had a downward slope. But again, completely swept his division rival, the ATLians. And he should be feeling pretty good. He's got his fridge stocked of Dr. Pepper and Code Red. So, yeah, so that's where he's at. Let's figure out where he's going to be drafting this year if you'll do me the honors.
Yeah. Let's see. Right. Step number 6. Did we already do that one?
We already did 6, yeah.
Okay. Well, just kidding. Here, put that one away.
Yeah.
We're going to do it again. Okay. This is it. Got number 2.
Jason LaRoche gets number 2
2
overall in the no pun intended fantasy football 2019 draft. That is insane. You know, he had actually talked about wanting to get the number 1 overall spot this year. Didn't end up happening for him,
That's pretty close, though.
but that's pretty close. So let's give him a call. Let's figure out what's going on, and we'll get his thoughts real quick. Jason LaRoche, team owner of Why Does Why. You've been selected for the number 2 overall draft position in the 2019 fantasy football season. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, as of late, there's been a lot of allegations against my team, unfounded allegations, just because they have pictures, just because they have video cameras, and because they got witnesses. That really doesn't matter in the court of law. What matters is that I got the number 2 position, and that Will McClay is on my private line. That's right, the vice president of Dallas Cowboys personnel I have as a reachback.
Wow.
Prepare yourself.
So controversy arises if you aren't aware. So just recently, there was an assault of the Bellingham Bin Blasiers at an Oak Harbor nightclub, and the primary suspect was actually Why Does Why. And so you're saying that absolutely was not true?
Well, I'm not saying it was absolutely not true. It was true. There's different perspectives depending on how you look at it and where you're at space at the time. It's really gonna come down to it. But what I will say this is we did get the number 2 position, and seek and you shall receive.
Oh wow! So you think he's going to fall to number 2 this year? You don't think he's falling number 1?
No, I think someone else is gonna go after what's that feller's name? Gurley. One of those, yeah.
That should be interesting.
But I don't think they'll be going after Zeke. But if they do go after Zeke, I have a contingency plan there. It's going to be very effective.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time and everything. We'll see if Why Does Why has all the Dr. Pepper and Code Red in his arsenal to bring home a league championship.
Of course we do.
All right. Take care. All right. So that was Jason LaRoche, team owner of Why Does Why. So as Nick suspected, he's actually going after Ezekiel Elliott this year. Now, if it were me personally, I probably wouldn't have said that, considering that the number one pick has not been determined yet. So who knows? Somebody may end up sniping him out, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get it on. So can we get a recap of the draft so far?
Yeah.
So far, again, Wide as Y is picking number 2 overall. We have the Aliens at number 5, the Bellingham Bimblases at number 6, the IT Crew at number 7, and myself, the defending league champion, the Flying Spaghetti Monsters, dead last at number 12. All right. So what do you think? How's the draft order shaping up so far?
Well, number 1 hasn't been picked yet, so
So you think there's still a chance?
There's still a chance.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, let's do it.
Okay. Am I picking?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Next up is the chocolate herd.
The chocolate herd. Oh, you know I had to come ready for this. This is a rookie alert. A rookie alert. So yes, actually it was supposed to be this one. Rookie alert. Rookie alert. Rookie alert. Fantasy football rookie alert. So yes, Josh Brown is actually, this is his first time ever playing fantasy football, but he does have a bevy of knowledge as an athlete. He has experience in football, wrestling, martial arts, and he's actually joining fantasy football in order to get kind of a perspective from a podcasting standpoint. He's actually going to be joining my podcast here sometime in the near future. Hottest mixtape of 2000. Oh, thank you. I do have the hottest mixtape of 2019. It's actually illegal in 32 different countries, my mixtape is, because it's so fire. It just completely obliterates everything. So, yeah, so Josh Brown.
Yeah.
Let's figure out where he's drafting. I'll do it this time.
Okay.
We'll do the honors of beckoning him in to the league. Watch him get number 1.
Right. Rookie luck.
Let's see if rookie luck prevails. Rookie luck did not prevail. Josh Brown will be drafting at the number 11 position of the 2019, no pun intended, fantasy football draft. So, hey, that's not a bad position, though. Again, it's kind of close to the turn. You know, as with the last position in any fantasy football draft, you kind of get 2 picks in a row with him. I mean, obviously, he'll have to wait on me in that first, second round turn. But that's not a bad place to be drafting from. It kind of alters your draft strategy a little bit, and you have a little bit more wiggle room. So, yeah, not a bad place for our league rookie. Let's give him a call, see what he thinks, and move on and get this business going. Just got to look him up here. Totally messed up that drop, but it's okay.
Josh, Big Daddy Brown speaking. How may I help you, sir, ma'am?
Josh Big Daddy Brown, rookie and team owner of the Chocolate Herd in the no pun intended Fantasy Football League. How are you this evening?
Doing swell. Actually tuning in live, seeing everything. I did see where I was picked at number 11, right on top of you.
That's right.
I hope you get used to that position because I will be on top of you by the end of the league.
Oh!
I want to let it be known that I am a little offended that my name wasn't in the trash can. I don't belong there like the rest of those scrubs. In fact, you need to go ahead and throw that jersey you got on in that trash can with the rest of those names. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, the shade is so cold. It like dropped like 20 degrees in here. Oh my God. That's insane. That's going to be crazy. So I don't think I've ever seen a fantasy football rookie win a league championship. Now I was an idiot. In my very first fantasy football draft, back when the Rams were in St. Louis, I actually drafted in the first round the St. Louis Rams defense and special teams, and everybody just absolutely chuckled at me. They had a field day with me. So hopefully, as they should have. So hopefully you don't make those same mistakes. Maybe I shouldn't have given you those secrets and told you to draft a defense first overall. But hey.
No, not necessarily. Luckily, I have enough common sense to realize that, it's point per reception, not point per tackle or interception or pass breakup. So, the brain kind of did the trick for me already.
Oh, he's a smart guy. He has it.
Around a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is there any message that you want to send out to the rest of the league?
I'm coming.
He's coming.
And I'm coming hard. The herd will trample all competition.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time. Good luck this year.
Thank you, sir. And you as well, Bethany. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. That was Josh Brown. And man, he had some shade to throw, didn't he? Like, my God, let me know in the comments section, what do you guys think about Josh Brown's trash talk? Is there anything that you want to spit back at him? Like anything at all? I mean, obviously, that's strong words coming out of somebody who's never even played fantasy football before. Now, you can be an actual football player all you want. It means absolutely nothing on the virtual gridiron. You have guys like me that are just absolutely virtual beasts. Regardless of the look, I have the body of a god in real life. It might be Buddha, but it's the body of a god. So in fantasy football, real athletics, it doesn't mean anything. So I don't see this guy exactly. As Lamar said, rookies are going to learn the hard way. It means absolutely nothing. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about it? I mean, he was throwing shade at you too. Technically, your name is still in that bucket.
It is. It's still in the bucket. So
what do you think of that? He's throwing shade at you. She's speechless. All right. Let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and pick the next team to determine their draft order. Lamar Peoples, Logical OSRS. Is that you, Josh? Let's figure this out. All right. Yes. Oh, snap. Next up, our very own Bethany Horn, team owner of Sacks in the City. So what do you think? Are you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit. There's a lot of numbers still left on that board, so.
A lot of numbers. All right.
We'll see.
Let's figure out where the league runner-up is going to be drafting this year. Wheels keep on turning. Oh. Let's redo that one.
Yeah.
Two came out at the same time. Okay.
Well, we did get this from Walmart.
We did get this from Walmart. All right. Keep on rolling. Man, she's just busting out of the competition. And this year's Sacks in the City will be picking at the number 9 position.
Number 9.
So what do you think? Number 9. How confident are you feeling about that?
I think I'm still feeling pretty confident. It'll definitely be different this year because my other times I've done fantasy, it's always been small leagues. So this is my first big league. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see.
So we're talking like 8 teams or less in your other
Yeah.
leagues. I mean, obviously we had the 16 league last year.
Right.
Do you remember how many teams were in the league?
I think it was 6.
6 teams? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, you have some fantasy football experience. This is your 3rd year in fantasy football. Both of your 2 fantasy football seasons prior, one last year was in this league. Mm-hmm. You were the league runner-up. You lost to me because Todd Gurley's knees just didn't end up holding up, and
all his fault.
I sniped CJ Anderson and ended up winning the whole. She had a 20-something point lead over me.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So last year it was a little bit wonky because of the fact that we had 6 teams, and because we ended up doing the season all the way out to week 17. The playoffs were actually 2 games or 2 weeks per round. So that is to say, round 1 was, I don't remember, was it like week 14 and 15? Round 2 was I think it was round 1 was 14 and 15, and then the championship was week 16 and 17, something like that.
So you played the same person 2 weeks in a row.
You played the same person 2 weeks in a row. This year, luckily, we have a large enough league that's not going to end up being the case.
Yeah.
So all right. So number 9, not bad at all. And you're actually the league's defending highest regular season scoring squad.
That's true.
At what is it? 1,953.2 points. Yeah. Do you think it's a repeat performance this year in the 12-team league?
I think so.
You think so?
I think I can make it happen.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, that was Bethany Horn. She's drafting number 9 this year. So it should be pretty awesome. I'm going to let you finish writing up that. Then we're going to do a quick recap of where we're at right now since we've picked another couple of team owners. All right. So just a quick recap. At number 2, we have Jason LaRoche, team owner Wide as Y. Number 5, the ATLians, led by Adam Siflinger. Number 6, the classiest hoes in all of fantasy football, the Bellingham Bimblases, who will be looking to spread their legs wide open. Wide open? wide open to league championship glory or the league glory hole. I'm not really sure. Number 7 at the IT crew. Number 9, yours truly, or not yours truly, hers truly, it's in the city. Number 11, the Chocolate Herd, and number 12, the defending league champion, the Flying Spaghetti Monsters. All right. Well, let's get on with it. Let's go to the next team. I'll let you do the honors, Mrs. Horn. Josh sent me a message, by the way, and told me to let you know he loves you.
Oh,
hope you're not flirting my wife, bro. I know you had all these like Tyrone-esque jokes. We could throw hands. It's what's up. It's whatever. So who's picking next?
All right, next we have the Constipated Leather Daddies.
Constipated Leather Daddies. It is a Walmart trash can. Constipated Leather Daddies. Team owner Danny Gilmore.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, he can't be reached for comment at this time. He's actually finishing up some last-minute orders at his strap-on shop. He has a fecal leather fetish. For those of you that don't know, the Constipated Leather Daddies. Team owner Danny Gilmore. Let me actually see. Before I go any further, if I can pull this up and show you this guy's team logo on my phone. It's pretty ridiculous. Now, I came up with all these myself, so I'm sitting here acting like I'm shocked. But I actually assigned everybody's team logos for them. Because I'm a little bit too involved in fantasy football, it happens. But hey, you know, it's just, you got to have fun with it. If you're going to do this, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to make it as entertaining as possible, even if I'm the only one that's entertained by it. I'm having trouble finding it.
Sure, they've seen it.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, anyway, you've been to the website. For those of you that aren't in the league, if you want to see what the team logos look like, just shoot me a message. They're hilarious. I think so anyway. The rest of the people seem to get a pretty good laugh at it. But yeah, all right. So the Constipated Leather Daddies, where are they drafting at this year?
Right.
Nope, there it is.
All right. They are drafting at number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4 are the Constipated Leather Daddies team owner, Danny Gilmore. Now, despite his odd fecal leather fetish, Danny Gilmore, he's actually a pretty accomplished fantasy footballer. He's definitely a seasoned fantasy footballer, for sure. He actually has 6 years of experience as a 12-team league commissioner. So he's no stranger to large leagues such as this one. He's also been an 8-time fantasy football league runner-up. So, and in one of those times, so he's been in a total of 9 league championship appearances, and he's only won once. So, I mean, he's good. He's obviously good enough. If he's made it into the league championship of a 12-team league 9 times, you know, do you go more based on, hey, he made it to the championship 9 times? Or do you just look at it, well, he only won once? How do you look at it? Like, you know, what side of the coin are you looking at in terms of competition? Are you scared of this guy?
I mean, those are pretty impressive numbers there, I would say.
Yeah. And he also does have 1 single game scoring record of his own right, highest single game scoring record of his own right. So, yeah, it should be interesting. Danny Gilmore. Oh, Tom Schroeder. He said he actually won his rookie year. Okay, so I stand corrected. I did not win my rookie year. I did, however, make it into the playoffs, even despite drafting the St. Louis Rams defense in the first round. I've yet to miss a playoff. So Tom Schroeder, he claims that he actually won his rookie year, won the whole league. Yeah, I don't know. He probably had like Helen Keller, you know, and people like that. He didn't have anybody in his league worth note. I highly doubt it anyway. Tom's a good guy. He's actually a 6-time fantasy football league champion, but I don't want to give away too much of him right now. Let's pick the next team. I'm going to set this over here, get that out of the way so it doesn't blow away. Leather Daddies liked to beat. I mean, but how do you mean that? Like the literal beating? Because I'm sure he did. I mean, with fecal covered strap-ons all over the place, I'm sure he did. Are you talking about the beating on the virtual gridiron or the beating in the virtual bedroom? We're waiting a response. Hurry up, Tom. Hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. No, okay. Oh, he beat him rookie year. Okay, well, his rookie year, he beat a seasoned 12-team league commissioner and won the championship outright. That's pretty impressive. All right, well, let's see who's next. We don't have that many teams left.
We don't.
So the next person, is it my turn? I'll pick the, sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
So the next team is, you guessed it, the Bama Boat Snacks. Team owner John Hawkins of the Bama Boat Snacks. Now, the Bama Boat Snacks, he's actually a division rival of you and I. If you didn't know, Bethany and I are actually in the same division here in the No Punt Intended Fantasy Football League. John Hawkins was actually one of our division rivals. And last year it was crazy. It was almost a storybook season for him. So John Hawkins last year started out the season 0-6. 6 consecutive losses to open up the year in a 6-team league, right? So everybody has ultra stacked rosters. Still couldn't manage to pull out a victory until week 7. But, so that sounds like trash, right? But guess what? He ended up fighting tooth and nail and was on an absolute tear from then on. And he edged out the ATLians to become the number 4 seed in the playoffs. So, and he does have a fantasy football league championship under his belt, 2 division championships. And so, yeah, he was actually the league's comeback squad of the year last year. Let's figure out where he's drafting. Oh, that's already been pulled.
All right. Well, we're going to do it again.
Yep.
There's like a lot of balls.
There's a few of them that we did like that.
Okay. Well, we're going to keep trying. All right.
So the Bama Boat Snacks.
At number 10.
Number 10 is the Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet.
Yep.
Now, we call him the Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet. I'm not going to ruin the surprise. I'm going to go ahead and give him a call real quick. And I'll let him tell you the story of why he's the Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet and get his thoughts at the number 10 position of the No Punt Intended Fantasy Football Draft. So, let's see here. Hawkins. Oh, shoot. Hawkins. Boom. Let's give him a call.
Hello?
John Hawkins, team owner of the Bama Boat Snacks, a.k.a. the Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet. So you've been picked for the number 10 draft position, 10th overall in the 2019 draft. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I got 2 things to say before I comment on that. One, LaRoche, you should never talk on the phone again. I hate your voice. 2, big props to my man, Josh Brown. Inspired me to be an AZ.
Yep.
And lastly, I'm not happy about number 10. I was actually hoping for 1 through 4, but I mean, we gonna ride with it. But the reason they call me the Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet because I was cutting people's heads, just like I'm gonna cut the head off of all y'all in this league. So big up.
Yeah, so it was on deployment, right? You were cutting people's hair. You took a little bit of practice at first. You kind of did a couple of butcher jobs like on Morlock. But hence why they called you the Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet. You actually ended up doing a pretty awesome job. I had faith in you. So it was he cuts chili bowl.
Definitely. At the beginning, I was definitely giving uneven haircuts.
Oh, snap. We have an outsider from outside of the league. Wanzi Gardner says that you give absolutely horrible cuts. Do you have any comments for him on that?
I mean, I can't argue with it. In the beginning, I was doing awful. So, yeah, can't even argue with it. At the end, I fucking picked up my game. Like I said, I gave uneven haircuts at the beginning, but we stepped up our game. We got back in it.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks for your thoughts. You went 0-6 in the first, obviously 6 weeks. You lost 6 games last year in a row to begin the season. And then you ended up becoming the number 4 seed in the playoffs. Like, you almost had the absolute Cinderella story to win the league championship. What are your thoughts for this year? Are you gonna lose a bunch of games again? You're gonna try and win outright, perfect 16-0? With the league being 12 teams now, do you see any difficulties, or what do you think about that?
Okay. One, I blame my 6 losses on drafting Le'Veon Bell. I thought he would actually come back a lot sooner than he did. Fuck him.
That's a bummer.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go 12-0. I'll give myself a healthy, call it like a 8-4. I definitely see myself in the top 2 of this division. So.
All right. Cool. All right, man. Well, thanks for your thoughts. Good luck this year.
Yep, you too.
All right. Take it easy. Bye. All right. So that was John Hawkins, team owner of the Bama Boat Snacks, a.k.a. the Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet. And let's see here. Lamar says, Anna wants to know how you're going to work a chainsaw into our league this year. So for those of you that don't know now, she just had like a look of terror on her face. So Lamar is actually the fiance of a very near and dear friend of mine back in Texas, Anna. And when we were in high school together, we were in choir. And I joined for all the wrong reasons. If you haven't noticed, I have a bit of a deeper voice. But back then, I wanted to know how to sing like, the old school, like heavy metal rock guys, AC/DC, all these guys. So I thought, all right, deep voice plus singing lessons means I can hit higher notes. Obviously, it didn't end up being a thing. But I had kind of a sick and twisted sense of humor back then. I did a lot of haunted houses and everything. And so I made references to chainsaws and dead children and things of that, which as a teacher absolutely drives her nuts. Anna, I do not know at this time how I'm going to incorporate a chainsaw, but I'm going to figure it out just for you and Lamar, of course. So I'm going to figure it out for you guys. Chainsaws will be had. If nothing else, heads will be cut off on the virtual gridiron. You want old school Rick Beck. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, Hannah says I haven't changed. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, there's still a lot of the humor that I had back then that I still have today. I'm still a troll. She'll tell you all about how I'm a troll. I still go overboard and I still bug the crap out of people with my sense of humor. I kind of keep picking and picking and picking and picking at it. So it's still a thing of mine, very much so. All right. Well, we spent enough time in between. Let's pick how many teams. We have 3 teams left. 3 teams left.
Number 1, number 3, and number 8 left.
So 2 of the top 3 spots left, and number 8 are left on the board. All right. Well, not much left. Let's figure out who we're going to figure out the draft order for next. In the official, no pun intended, Fantasy Football League Power Bucket. Sunday. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
All right. The next team is the Da Vinci's Earbiters.
Da Vinci's Earbiters. All right, Da Vinci's Earbiters. And what's this? If Rick ain't breaking the bank or being half smart, I ain't having it. Yeah, listen. So Jason Knoll, me and him are the half smart crew. We've been breaking the bank, being like, nah, F that banker for over, God, it seems like for like 15 years now. So yeah, definitely still HSC for life. Never. I'll talk about that offline. I'm thinking about like making a bet with Jason, a tattoo bet, an HSC tattoo bet. We'll talk about that at a later time though. But no, half smart for life. I don't even read books because the oxygen goes to my brain and then I die. Yeah, there's like a cat and yeah. So anyway, Da Vinci's Earbiters, team owner Tom Schroeder. Let's figure out where he's going. Don't give him number 1 overall. Why? That's a good. You could get one of the top 4 guys. Even Nathan Peterman, you could get him number 1 overall. Oh, so Tom Schroeder this year. Oh, nope, that's not it. That one's already been done. There should be only 3 in there.
There's one other.
There's one other one. Do we have number 5 already?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get that out of there. Whatever. We'll just 5 comes up. So Tom Schroeder, you will be drafting number 1 overall this year. Thank you, Anna. That's very kind of you. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. On this channel, you're going to find I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff, not only with this league, but I'm going to be talking fantasy sports a lot. For anybody out there that likes fantasy football, that likes the coverage, likes everything. I'm going to be doing this a lot, talking about players that I like at each position on a weekly basis, along with streaming advice for each position, including special teams, defense, kickers, the whole 9 yards for those of you that like doing that. There are actually a lot of leagues out there that have gotten rid of kickers and defenses and special teams. We didn't do that this year, especially because we have a rookie, Josh. He's trash. He ain't going to do nothing. So, yeah. So Godspeed 116. I wonder who that is. So Da Vinci's Earbiters, Tom Schroeder, number 1 overall. if you want to show them the draft board to kind of give them a recap of everything.
Numbers left.
So as you can see, Da Vinci's Earbiters, Tom Schroeder, number 1 overall. Number 2, Jason LaRoche, leading Wide as Y. Number 4, Danny Gilmore, team owner of the Constipated Leather Daddies. Number 5, Adam Siflinger of the ATLians. Number 6, spreading their legs wide open, are the Bellingham Bin Blasés. Number 7, the IT Crew, led by Jason Knoll. Number 9, Sacks in the City, led by Bethany Horn. Number 10, Bama Boat Snacks, led by John Hawkins. Number 11, the Chocolate Herd, with our very own rookie team, Josh Brown. And number 12, yours truly, the Flying Spaghetti Monsters. So number 1 overall is the league's winningest team owner. Sorry, I don't know why I like stuttered over that. Stuttered. So let's check him out. So let's take a look at his profile here, if I can find him. Yeah, so Tom Schroeder, team owner of Da Vinci's Earbiters. Now, if that isn't a weird as hell name, I mean, I know obviously the Constipated Leather Daddies, but I mean, we have 2 teams that are like kind of creepy as hell, right?
Yeah,
we have Da Vinci's Earbiters and the Constipated Leather Daddies, right? So Tom Schroeder, a little bit about him. He's actually a 6-time fantasy football league champion, right? Now, he has consistently played in 2 to 3 leagues every year. Last year, it was a little bit different. I don't think he was able to commit to fantasy football as much. But for at least 4 years straight prior to that, from 2013 up until the 2017 or 2018 season, he was playing in at least 2 to 3 teams every year and made a consistent league championship appearance in every one of those. And again, won 6 titles along the way. All of those leagues all had 12 teams, just like this one does. So he's obviously a very consummate fantasy football professional. Numerous division championships. It should be awesome. Let's give him a call. Let's find out what he's up to. Oops, that's not the right number. Let's give him a call. Oh, I forgot to sound the drop. That's okay.
Is this Publishers Clearinghouse?
It is not. This is Rick Horn, commissioner of the No Punt Intended Fantasy Football League. And I guess in a way you could say it is the Publishers Clearinghouse because you, my friend, have been selected to draft number 1 overall this year in the 2019 draft.
Sweet.
Tom Schroeder of Da Vinci's Earbiters, number 1 overall. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think I'm going to be taking Money Team's money.
Oh, snap. Hashtag Money Team. A little bit of trash talk. Now, you guys haven't even actually met, but all throughout the offseason, you've been talking trash back and forth. I gotta ask, like, what's the deal behind that? What's the shade to hashtag Money Team?
Well, when you come in tossing your money around, saying you're going to win, you have as many championships as I do, of course there's going to be a little competition there. So, of course, if he loses to me this year, he becomes broke team next year. That's true. Any agreement. It's been filled in the chat there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. So for those of you that don't know, we did have a little side bet in the league chat. Tom Schroeder actually made a bet to Lamar Peoples, team owner of hashtag Money Team. If they lose this year, now when you say lose this year, is it league championship or bust, or what if neither of you make it to the league championship? Is it just whoever has a better record, whoever makes it further? How is this going?
I think, to be fair, it would be whoever has the better record. I mean, that's what we should keep it at there.
Now, I mean, that is to say, but you can end up in the playoffs with a worse regular season record. So if one of you has a worse record, but the person with the worst record still ends up winning the league outright, is that going to be a determining factor in the bet? Like, if he has a worse record than you, but ends up winning the league championship, does he win?
If you make it to the playoffs, I mean, that right there is part of the end game. Your goal is to make it to the playoffs. If you can beat the other people in the playoffs, then more power to you. I'd say at that point you've succeeded.
All right, awesome. So any thoughts for the rest of the league other than hashtag Money Team this year, as you're making your No Punt Intended Fantasy Football League debut?
Well, I mean, I do just want to point out that you were a St. Louis Rams fan and you're wearing a Texans jersey. I mean, you really got to pick a team, man.
All right. Yeah, I knew the shade was coming. I kind of walked right into that. It's true. We've gone over this for time and time again. So I've been a Texans fan for going on 3.5 years now. Once the Rams left St. Louis, I decided I wasn't going to support them anymore. I wanted to support a Texas team. I'm putting it on record, on video. right? I started following them when Brock Osweiler was their quarterback. So clearly I was bandwagoning. Brock Osweiler, all right, was their quarterback at the time. And so whatever, you can say what you want. I'm going to stomp you out this year. And yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, if the Rams were to come back to St. Louis, would you then be a St. Louis Rams fan again?
Probably not. No, I mean, if a lot of things would have to happen, like Stan Kroenke would have to die slowly and rectally, and somebody who like really had St. Louis's best interest at heart, like they're not there on like a really bad deal like they were the last time they were in St. Louis. A lot of things would have to happen for me to support a St. Louis NFL team.
Gotcha.
So,
All right.
Well, thanks.
I look forward to taking the championship here and taking the number 1 spot.
All right. Well, good luck. Thanks for taking the call.
No problem. Bye.
Bye. All right. So that was Tom Schroeder, team owner of Da Vinci's Earbiters. And he's getting the number 1 spot. Obviously, he's very confident with 6 total league championships under his belt. Yeah. It should be pretty interesting. Super excited to have him in the league this year. We have some real competition on our hands.
We do.
Okay, so let's take a look at the comments section. So I'm not sure who Logical OSRS is. I'm not sure. I want to say that might be Jason Knoll. Godspeed 116. I'm not sure. If you could drop your names in the comment section just so I can kind of speak on you a little bit better. But anyway, Logical OSRS is making a suggestion to Tom that they draft Dez Bryant number 1. The aforementioned Dez Bryant, he got off the cow, or he got booted from the Cowboys, didn't get picked up until he got signed with the Saints, was there for like 2 days, and then ended up like breaking his ankle or something. He got fat and broke his ankle, whatever. Godspeed 116 is none other than Kyle Curry, team owner of Tebow's Before Hose. He's one of the 2 teams that we have left that have not been determined as far as draft order goes. And let's see who else we got here. Oh, Lamar says that Tom is nervous. He could smell the fear. So only people with fear start beef. Oh, snap. So the IT crew is talking trash on Lamar Peoples. We got trash talk in this league. Do you have anybody in the league that you feel like you want to call out? Like, do you have beef with? I mean, obviously me, because we were in the championship together. But is there a division rival or somebody in the opposite, somebody that you just kind of feel some type of way towards?
No, just you.
Just me. All right. Well, that's fair. Fair enough. And so, I mean, let's talk about you for a second, right? So you were actually you were considering a fantasy football retirement, right? But you decided to come back for at least 1 more year. What's the story behind that?
Basically, like I was saying before, the other 2 leagues that I was in, they were really small leagues. But both times I got to the championship. So, I was successful there. So I'm just kind of, wanting to see what my skills are with a bigger league and, learn a little more about fantasy football. My third season.
So that's why you're back, huh? Back in your 3rd season?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, also I was probably a little bit voluntold.
I did kind of voluntold her to come back this year. She made it to the league championship, and we now have a 12-team league. Why not she does want to beat me. She absolutely wants to demolish me. If nothing else, even if she doesn't win the league championship, like if she could just run me into the ground.
Because I was so close last time.
She was. And she was killing me in the league. Like if the league championship had ended in week 16, you would have won.
Yeah.
You would have won outright. She was beating me by over 20, like I want to say it was like 23 points or something like that. But we did have a week 17. I had CJ Anderson.
There was no Todd Gurley.
I had CJ Anderson, and I ended up sniping out the title at the last minute.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get down to our final team owners. I'm not even going to bother drawing the last team out of a hat here, out of the bucket. This is not a trash can. For today, it is the official power bucket of the No Punt Intended Fantasy Football League. So I don't know. No. But anyway. So do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, we'll pick.
All right.
Let's see. All right.
1 of 2. This is going to determine basically the last 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Right. We've got Tebow's Before Hose.
And who's the team owner of that again?
That would be Kyle Curry.
Kyle Curry, team owner of Tebow's Before Hose, is up next. And yeah, so this is basically going to determine the final two spots on the draft board.
Number 3 and number 8.
Number 3 and number 8 is up for grabs. Now, Kyle Curry, it's actually pretty interesting. He has some fantasy football experience of his own. He's not a super seasoned veteran, but he does have 2 years of fantasy football experience. One of those years he did win the league championship. He has a win percentage in Yahoo Fantasy Leagues of 62.5. He has 2 division titles, so both of the years that he played, he won his division. And he does have a highest single game scoring record. I forget what the actual number was, but it was over 200 points, and it was in a 14-team league. So scoring over 100 points is usually pretty good for a 12-team league, but to score 200 points in a single game, it was 317. Oh yeah, 317 points in a 14-team league. So that's insane. That's insane. Over 300 points in a 14-team league. That's tough to pull off. I mean, I think we only had a handful of 200-point games in our 6-team league last year. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's figure out where Kyle's going to be drafting. All right, Kyle Curry.
We're drafting at number 8.
Number 8 is Kyle Curry, team owner of Tebow's Before Hose. We'll see if they can keep their pan strong this year. They have a lot of interesting competition in terms of team name. We have the Bellingham Bim Blasies, which, if you don't know the Bim Blasies name, it's actually a play off the word bimbo, right? So that's a whole nother story from my single days that I'm not going to get into. But yeah, so it's a play off the word bimbo. So the Bellingham Bim Blasies, his last name is Blase, for those of you that didn't already know. So we have the Bellingham Bim Blasies, the Constipated Leather Daddies, and Tebow's Before Hose. It sounds like a creepy sex dungeon trio they've got going on there. It's kind of weird. So yeah, number 8 is Tebow's Before Hose. We're going to give him a call. There was a scandal recently with them, says the IT crew. Could you shed a little bit of light on that in the comment section there? IT crew, Jason Knoll. If you could shed a little bit of light on that, we'll get your comment. I'm going to call. In fact, before I call, I think it's fair if we should know what I'm about to accuse him of. So in the comment section, before I call Kyle Curry, what scandal was there with the accusations were false? The accusations were false against who? Kyle Curry? The Bellingham Bim Blasies? What was it? I guess we're just going to wait to see. I don't know. That's crazy. A lot of controversy in the league this year. The Bellingham Bim Blasies being assaulted at a nightclub in Oak Harbor, Washington. We had the preliminary police reports. He was assaulted. Really? He was assaulted by who? That's insane. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a call while you're writing there in the comment section below. We can't make this run too terribly long, but we're going to give Kyle Curry a call and see what his thoughts are.
Lost 3 followers.
What it do, baby?
Kyle Curry, team owner of Tebow's Before Hose. So it's just been determined you are the number 8 draft pick in the 2019 No Punt Intended Fantasy Football League. What are your thoughts?
I'm here so I don't get fined.
You're here so you don't get fined. So, I mean, any thoughts on classic Marshawn Lynch?
No, champions are formed in the waiver wire, so I don't really pay too much attention to draft picks because waiver wire is where you win championships.
On Lamar People says that's what they all say.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
Well, you don't score 317 points in a single game off of straight waiver wire pickups, if that's what they all say.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's pretty rare occurrence, especially in a 14-team league. That's insane. So, yeah, I mean, any message you want to send out to the rest of the league this year?
I'm a newcomer to this league and about to be on top for a while.
About to be on top. All right. Yeah, it's crazy. So as you have a fantasy football championship under your belt and as well an unrelated controversial championship of North Texas's very own Ghetto Wrestling World Championship Tournament back in 2011. Can you tell us a little bit about that, your run as champion?
No comment.
No comment. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, thanks for taking the call. Good luck this year. Drafting number 8 is Tebow's before Hose. You're looking to keep your pimp hand strong.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody you're looking, I know obviously the goal is to win the league title, right? But is there anybody in particular in the league that you want to keep your pimp hand strongest against?
You and your wife, because y'all are FSU fans.
Oh,
Go Noles.
snap. Yeah, so Kyle Curry is a devout Florida Gators fan. I'm a recently converted FSU fan, casual FSU fan, but yeah,
I'm a big FSU
she's a
fan.
big FSU fan. All right, well, thanks for taking the call. Good luck this year.
All right, have a good one.
You too. So that was Kyle Curry, team owner of Tebow's Before Hose. Of course, I almost suspected he was going to throw some shade for the Florida State
Makes sense.
FSU thing. We have somebody saying go FSU. I believe that's Jason.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, interesting. So, all right, and with that, obviously we know who our number 3 team is.
Yep.
And who's that?
That's hashtag money team.
Right? Team owner Lamar Peoples of hashtag Money Team. Right now, he's another multiple-time fantasy football league champion that we have in the league this year. His first year in the league. Right? He's actually won 3 fantasy football championships, 2 division championships, and he has 2 top regular season scoring titles. Almost stumbled over my words again there. So yeah, and actually I want to go ahead and make a shout out to Lamar and his fiance Anna. If you have a chance to check them out, I encourage you to go check out the Hoppy Couple. That's like happy but with an O, Hoppy, the Hoppy Couple. They're a North Texas brewery review. They go to check out all sorts of craft breweries. They buy a lot of their own craft beer. They have an awesome review system. They have a unique, quote, brew brick scoring system. Their website's awesome. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. Go check them out. It's awesome. So congratulations to both of you on that, and congratulations on your engagement. So we're going to go ahead and give hashtag Money Team a call. Steve, say that. Oh, my God. Here we go again. See if we can stay sober long enough. Not us. I mean, obviously us, right? See if we can stay sober. No, we got our water. It's okay. We're sober. We're going to see if he can stay sober long enough to cash in. See what I did there? To cash in on league championship glory. So I'm going to see if I can give him a call. I got to call him on Facebook because I don't have his actual number. I should have taken care of that before the video, but that's okay. Hopefully he picks up.
Is there a speaker option?
It's on speaker.
Hello.
Lamar People, team owner of hashtag Money Team. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm enjoying craft beer right now, so it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood,
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood, indeed. So, what? Remind me, what craft beer are y'all checking out today?
Well, we actually just came back from Tulsa, Prairie Artisan Brewery that is there. We literally tried 20 different beers on tap. It was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
As you can see, we've got the here in the video, we've got the pyramid, right? Minimum daily requirements for beer. We've got it right up here. So huge craft beer brewing family. I actually have if you guys ever have a chance to visit, we have our own home brewing kit. I'm not going to advertise that in this video, but anyway, yeah. So you've been picked number 3 overall in the 2019, no pun intended, fantasy football draft. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's no surprise that, I came last, talk. Obviously I'm prime time, main event. So, I mean, I understand, it is what it is. It didn't matter where I pick from. I wake up in the morning, I just piss excellence,
Right.
He drinks beer and pisses excellence, ladies and gentlemen. All right, awesome. Well, so do you have any other thoughts, anything you'd like to put out to the rest of the league?
Well, I'm a little shocked, Commish, that, some people are obviously a little afraid, but, I'm just going to let my play do the talking and let my players and my beer will have a celebration beer, after each win. So
For sure, yeah.
I'll join my fiance for some of those victories. So
Now, would you be willing to take a bet for every game that you lose? You still have to drink a beer, but it's like a beer of our choice, like something terrible, like Milwaukee's Best or something like that.
I don't know about that one, Commissioner. I mean, I've got a reputation to uphold here. I can't drink in bad beer, you know.
Now I'm saying like I'm ready. I'm ready to counter the bet. Whatever you want me to do, I'm ready to make that bet right now. Maybe not every. Maybe if it's like a super big game, right? Like if we end up in the championship and you end up losing, you have to drink like a Milwaukee's Best live on video, or not live, but submit a video of you drinking a Milwaukee's Best. I can hear Anna in the background. Hi, Anna.
Hey, Rick, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. See, Tom's all about it. Tom's all about it. You drinking a Milwaukee's Best if you end up losing some big games this year. So I don't know. Maybe I can convince you into it at a later time. So that's another thing I wanted to touch on. So this rivalry that you have with Tom Schroeder. Now you're both in completely opposite sides of the country. You have Tom up in the Pacific Northwest. You're down in Texas right now, Tulsa, Oklahoma, I know. But what's the deal with that? Like, I know he started coming at you. Are you feeling some type of way about him? Do you feel any animosity to anybody else other than him in the league? Or is it just kind of him at this point?
Well, you know, the way I see it, I'm you know, Money Mayweather, and he's Pacquiao. So I beat him. You know, he came at me. I beat him. Now he, you know, is a little afraid and, you know, wants to talk smack. And I'm already the best. So I don't know. These things happen when you're on top, you know. So we're just gonna be Money team, you know, give thanks to my team. And when I say team, I do mean myself. So
oh, snaps. Wow. All right. Well, strong words from a strong man. Thank you for your time and everything. We'll see you on the virtual gridiron, and good luck this year.
Thanks so much, Commissioner. We appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Bye. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We have our draft order. You want to go ahead and go through the list with them real quick? Sure, I'll read it off. So, again, drafting number 1 overall is Da Vinci's Earbotters team owner Tom Schroeder. We have number 2, Wide as Y, team owner Jason LaRoche. Number 3, we just got done talking to him, #Money Team, team owner Lamar Peoples. Number 4, we've got the Constipated Leather Daddies, team owner Danny Gilmore, who couldn't be reached for comment. I hate that because he's an awesome guy. But again, he's kind of filling some last-minute orders for strap-ons, fecal covered strap-ons. So, you know, we'll let that come to pass. Number 5, the ATLians team owner Adam Siflinger. Number 6, the classiest hose in all of fantasy. I was trying to get her to say she didn't want to do it. Not her. She's not she's not a hoe.
Not me.
No, Idaho? Idaho. No, anyway, the classiest hose in all of fantasy football, the Bellingham Bin Blase at number 6. The IT crew led by Jason Knoll, who has all the right data at number 7. Tebow's Before Hose at number 8. I'm like having to like lean into the microphone to do that. So I'm sure it sounds like terrible one of them up here. I'm really sorry about that, guys. Number 8 is Tebow's Before Hose. Number 9, Sacks in the City, team owner Bethany Horn. Number 8, the Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet, John Hawkins, leading the Bama Boat Snacks with his country boy strength. Number 11, our very own rookie, Josh Brown, team owner of the Chocolate Herd. Right, we're going to see. He's never played fantasy football before, so we'll see how he does this year. And last, but certainly not least, you know what they say. They save the best for last, right? The defending champion, Rick Horn, the Beast of the East, the Flying Spaghetti Monsters. So that's it, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. Again, for those of you that are not in the league, if you enjoyed this, I'm going to be having a little bit more broad of a sports cast as the year goes on. More. Some of it will be fantasy football related on a week-to-week basis. Players that I like, you know, which is going to kind of suck because my league mates are going to watch it and they're going to try to snipe out the waiver wire based on who I like. But the content is all for you, the listeners, the viewers, and everything. We're hoping to grow this channel quite a bit. Josh Brown is going to be joining me here in the near future. So it should be awesome. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Right now, I have a few videos on there, just a few goofy highlight videos that I made on my phone last season for this league. They're pretty humorous, but now we have a little bit more technology. Not 100% there yet, but it should be a lot of fun. So with that, yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Stay tuned for the draft, again, September 1st. And you already know the tagline. You know you're going to say it with me. Yep. All right, guys. So stay tuned for the draft coming up September 1st. And we will see you on the virtual gridiron. Take care, guys.